Hey crew, and welcome to phase one. So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about what we're going to do in the near future, right? But also what we're going to do in the long term. So when you follow our programming, we follow in this year-long programming cycle with the idea of that we're going to peak in February, March when we compete in the Open, but we're also going to continue to refine things throughout the summer. And finally, we just set a whole bunch of new PRs with all of our lifting tests over the last couple weeks, and it's time to kind of get back into our foundation building. We're going to get back to 6 to 8 week cycles with a test week and a retest week, so we can monitor how we're progressing in those short time frames, but as well as kind of defining roles throughout the seasons of what we're looking to do. So since we are day one tomorrow, right? So Monday is going to be day one of phase one. What we're looking for in this first phase is just solidifying who we are as athletes. We're going to ask you to do a lot of things, but we're going to ask you to do a lot of things really, really well with that long-term health and wellness goal in mind. So my big first thing is to talk about mindset. So it's really easy to set goals, and we've set some goal reviews. If you haven't done that, come in with me. But hey, did I do X, Y, Z, right? And then it's that fixed mindset of like, yes, I accomplished it. No, I didn't accomplish it. But that's not really a defining factor in who we are as people, definitely not who we are as athletes. So whether or not we can squat 200 pounds does not make us fit or not fit. But the way we go about trying to hit those goals is what we call growth mindset. So how can we work diligently? How can we listen to our bodies, listen to our coaches, and progress a little bit better every day? So that way, let's say we squat 195 instead of 200. Let's not define ourselves by that data. So the term I'm going to be using throughout the year is called walk through the fire, right? So it's not about, we hear it all the time, it's not about the destination, it's the journey. So when we're working out, what we're trying to do is develop habits that are going to benefit us in the gym, obviously, but also in life. Like, we can do hard things, and even if we don't hit that end all be all goal at the end, how did we go about walking through the fire and setting ourselves up to do hard things? So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about what this phase specifically looks like, where we can really attack things, and when we can dial back and be like, hey, let's set ourselves up for success in the springtime. So if you love our main lifts, you're going to love this phase. So every Monday from here on out for the next few weeks, we're just going to be deadlifting. So that is going to be our big lift, is the deadlift. When done correctly, it has the biggest benefit for your overall athleticism. It's the most taxing on that central nervous system. And we can lift a lot of weight. We can impose the body on some really significant forces with our deadlift. So we're going to be focusing on deadlift on Mondays. But with that, we want to make sure we're moving well. Hopefully we've got a 1 rep max that we set in the last couple weeks that we can go off of. And we're looking to move well here, not just move big numbers. But that's going to be a foundational focus. Coming up most likely on Tuesdays, but throughout the week, our skill movement is actually going to be, or our speed work is going to be back squats. So we will do back squats, but because we're putting all that effort in on deadlifts, what I'm going to ask you to do on back squats is to move less load, but faster. So really, when we put our bodies through adaptations, what we're looking for is how much force can we create? Now, force is, I'm going to get engineering on you. It's mass times acceleration, right? So if we move a lot of mass slowly, we provide the same amount of force as if we move a medium amount of that mass quickly, right? So we're not going to be lifting giant percentages on our back squat, but what we are going to be doing is producing a lot of force. So I'm going to ask you to move those quickly, right? So if we are deadlifting on Monday and we're going real slow, and then we're back squatting on Tuesday and we're also going real slow, we're asking our body to do a lot all in that time frame. So again, this is one of those, how do we attack our workouts? Are we being smart with our fitness? Because we will get more fit, produce more force if we dial back those back squats. We listen to our body and we're like, am I shoving my feet through the floor and standing up as fast as I can? So again, being diligent with that long-term goal in mind. I promise you we'll get to back squatting heavy, so if that's your jam, it's coming. It's a long year, right? The other things we're going to be doing, so skill work is going to be squat clean. And when we talk about skill work, what we mean there is technique, right? So we are not looking to squat clean a lot of weight at all. What we're looking to do is step back and redefine our movement pattern. So if anything, the next 6 to 8 weeks on our squat cleans, go significantly lighter than you think you should, because we're not trying to PR this cycle. What we're trying to do is make sure that we're moving so well that we can't not PR when it comes time to doing those. So you're going to see that in a lot of ways, mainly positional work. So that is working through a low hang, a high hang, and then also from the ground. So you're going to see 3 position cleans a lot. If that means nothing to you, good news, there's always a coach, right? So we will be working on technique on our cleans. And then we're still going to be doing lots of things in our conditioning, right? So the in-WOD lift, so the thing we're going to be focusing on, when you hear in-WOD, I mean during your conditioning piece. So cool, what are we going to be working on when our metabolic stresses are high? This cycle is going to be the front squat. So you're going to see a lot of front squatting within our conditioning pieces, which I really like, because what a better time to work your midline and hold that core position than when you're breathing really, really heavy. So you're going to see in-WOD lifts of our front squats, as well as just a smattering of everything, right? So CrossFit is constantly varied. I've said it a couple times if you haven't heard it. Varied is not random. So that's why I'm asking, ask your coach, what is the emphasis for today? How can I make myself better in 2 weeks, in 2 months, in 2 years? And if we take that growth mindset rather than did I PR today or did I lift the most weight I could today, we're going to become healthier and more fit in the long run. We do that by doing a lot of things. So conditioning pieces, I've heard it a lot in the last couple of weeks, like, oh, I hate the bike. Well, I do too. But really what it comes down to is getting better. So getting a little more focus on our output levels. What's really nice about the bike is there's so much immediate feedback of like, I can't do this anymore, almost instantaneously. So when we learn how we can produce efforts in conditioning pieces, the bike's just a really, really nice implement to do that. So we're going to be looking at all types of conditioning, right? So we're going to run at fall times, beautiful weather. We're going to bike, we're going to row, we're going to ski. But just be on the lookout for a decent amount of biking this cycle as we learn. Athlete IQ is going to be the other phrase you hear often. We learn about ourselves and who we are and what we can press, what we can't, and doing that through the bike is going to be a really good place to do that. And then the new thing we're going to be implementing that I am really, really excited about as we grow, and I'm seeing a lot more people enjoy competing at their level. There's things that we can't get away from, right? So when the open comes, we know there's a couple things, a handful of things that will show up. There's going to be thrusters. There's going to be double unders. I would put a lot of money on the fact that there's going to be wall walks, right? Now, these are skills. As much as, oh, those are hard, but if we do them well, they are skills. Double unders are a skill. Thrusters, cycling thrusters is a skill. Wall walks are a skill. So we're going to start having a little bit more skill focus in testing as well. In theory, those are going to fall on Fridays, but that's not to say they won't be all over the week. And so if those are things for you, if you're looking to get better at some of those skills, we've got things programmed for you because that's going to benefit you again in the long run. So come springtime. So I think the 2 skills we're going to be looking at, especially these next couple phases, are going to be the double under and the wall walk. So again, coaches are going to walk you through. It's really easy to make you tired. So it's really easy to say like, do 10 wall walks. But how can we do 10 wall walks in a way that we're moving as efficiently as possible? And then again, athlete IQ, what pacing should I be doing on these things? So be looking for some more skill work just involved within class. And then, like I said, thrusters always there. So our interval test and things we're going to be working on are thrusters. We're going to be doing that at many different weights. So look for low weight, look for high weight, reps all across the board. We know thrusters come. So instead of just being like, those are awful, be like, sweet, I'm excited to get better at those. And again, growth mindset. So maybe we just learn something about ourselves. So maybe if I'm asking for 21 unbroken and you get to 15 and you break, be like, great, now I know more information about who I am as an athlete and how we can do that moving forward. So we do have tests coming up in the next couple weeks. Some of these are going to be, they're all over the board, right? So we've got interval tests, we've got conditioning tests, we have lifting tests. And so show up, make sure that you're getting those numbers, make sure you're listening to your coach, and then just get excited. So phase one is back. I actually really love the foundational phases because it's the time that I get to sit back and coach the most, when I get to say, hey, let's stop that right now today and know that if we alter what we're doing now for the next couple weeks, we can really be diligent about how we're getting better. So this is my favorite time to coach. This is my favorite time to get new people in and really start developing really, really good habits. And then just enjoying each other. So fall's a great time. So we're getting kids off at school. We're starting to develop our own routine. So just make gym a part of it. If you're having problems with that, let us know. We'll find a buddy for you and we'll get you in. But otherwise, phase one starting tomorrow. So Monday, August 29th, we've got phase one programming coming. It's going to be an absolute blast and I cannot wait to get started. All right. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you soon.